What is this thing I found in my late grandfather's garage? He worked as some kind of engineer-inventor in Leeds, England. Unfortunately, I know very little about him. He died when I was 5, and all I hear is bits and pieces from my father. My family only found this machine because my grandma was moving, and no one had a clue what it was. Any ideas? It's a Ruhmkorff induction coil, named after Heinrich Ruhmkorff, a German instrument maker who commercialized the induction coil. It was the first type of transformer invented in 1836 by the Irish Catholic priest Nicholas Callan. It was widely used in X-ray machines, spark gap radio transmitters, arc lighting, and quack medical electrotherapy devices from the 1880s to the 1920s. Today, its only common use is as the ignition coils in internal combustion engines and in physics education to demonstrate induction. I found these in my grandfather's garage. He was an avid traveler of the world. They appear to be hand-stamped. Here is an up-close writing and stamp. Any ideas are appreciated. These are the works of Hasui Kawase, a Japanese artist who was one of 20th century Japan's most important and prolific printmakers. His works were commonly landscapes, but displayed atmospheric effects and natural lighting. The one on the left is titled Kasuga Shrine in Nara from 1933 and sold for $2,600 in 2004, and the one on the right is Snow at High Shrine from 1931 and had an estimate of 4,000 to 5,000 pounds. Towards the end of his life, the government recognized him as a living national treasure for his contribution to Japanese culture. What is this hand-forged iron thing from my folks' collection? It is thin, hand-hammered, possibly cast iron, around 3.5 inches across and 10 inches long. The blade at the bottom is not sharp, but might have been once. There are shallow decorative marks that look hammered or stamped into the metal. It might be a kitchen tool, or might be something for horse care. So puzzling. It seems crude for something as fancy and expensive as a clock would have been in the mid to late 1800s. Just a guess, because that's the period most of my folks' antiques came from. I'm looking forward to someone figuring it out. Blacksmith here. That is an 18th century wrought iron spatula with a keyhole-shaped blade and rat-tail handle. The wings on each side hint the classic keyhole design that is unique to Pennsylvania craftsmanship in the 1700s. If it's real, which it looks like it could be, they're very collectible. You can often find them on eBay for a couple of $100s. What is this metal mechanism? It looks like it's made of steel or maybe pewter, and the box it's in is 4 inches by 3 inches. I have no idea how old it is. The box and the thing both are marked with the name Triumph. Any searches I was doing for Triumph were just turning up motorbikes. Any ideas? Triumph Adler was a German typewriter manufacturer during World War I and World War II. This is an example of the escapement. They developed a different process that allowed for faster typing than their competitors. What you have is a salesman's sample to extol the virtues of their design. I never thought when I was a young man that in retirement I would be able to contribute knowledge on something so arcane. Yes, I was a typewriter salesman for Royal, Adler, SCM, Olivetti, and Juki. I have been on the scene for the fall of dozens of industries, office products having been consolidated into just a few firms nationwide. What is the other end of this bottle opener for? It's a bottle opener similar to the one bartender's use, but we can't figure out what the other end is for. We tried using it to grab a beer from ice, but that didn't really fit correctly. Any ideas? Ex-bartender here. It's a pour spout remover for removing the pour spouts from empty liquor bottles. Just slide it underneath the rubber cap and then wiggle it up and down until the bottle cap comes out. What is this glass thing found in a creek in the Midwest US? It weighs about a pound, it does not appear to be threaded, and the hole is about ½ an inch in diameter. It's not an ashtray, it has no indents to hold a cigarette and it has a hole in the middle. One bubble on the outside looks like it was broken off and maybe smoothed by creek sand. No letters or markings. I appreciate any suggestions you can offer. It's a 1950s pressed glass lamp base. This style is generally called hobnail glass. The cord would go out to the one flattened bump. I have a pair of these in blue. So lucky you found one. I found this in a Salvation Army box. When plugged in, the metal surface gets hot, and the wood part seems to serve as a handle. There is obviously a warning sticker on both sides. To elaborate on size, I'd say the width is 2 to 3 inches, the length is 12 inches, and approximately 5 inches tall. What would you use this for? It's a cigarette tack stamping hand iron, designed to stamp cigarette box packs. I have mine that I purchased from the estate of a Tobacconista collector. The iron has highly polished stamping bars for smoother and faster stamp transfer. What is this black tin box found in the wall in Salt Lake City? The house was built around 1910, about 7 by 4 inches, and it looks like it clips on your belt or bucket. It's stamped and says Falls City. It looks a little rusty and magnetic, and looks to be built out of tin. It does stay open, and looks like trim nails could fit on top. Maybe for roofing or trim work to hold nails. I'm not sure what it was used for, but just curious if you guys had an idea. It's a 1950s fishing bait box, back to a simpler time when all you needed was your fishing pole and some worms in your bait tin. It has 2 tabs on the back where you would feed your belt through to keep your bait handy. What is this tool I found in a box of tools from a farm in Queensland, Australia? It is a roughly 15 centimeters long metal object, solid metal, and has a total of 20 holes that all seem to be threaded. I can't find any markings or maker's mark anywhere on it. I've used image searches but could not find anything similar. Any idea what this thing is? Please let us know down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Let's make life fun.